This is Skywatch, September 13th. Optic tracker and a telescope. Here comes a plane through Optic Tracker, and it doesn't detect it, but it has a nice recording of it. Next, I'm scanning for any objects moving through the sky and repositioning my telescope. And it's right in the area right now of some geosats. And so I'm just sort of looking around in there in that same area to see if anything shows up. Here I show a HeavenSat application on the left and Optic Tracker on the right, and they're currently aligned with each other, so I can see what stars are where. The HeavenSat image on the left also shows the satellites that are in the sky, and I currently have the names turned off. This is the same image as before, but now I've turned on the satellite names, and you can see their position relative to the stars, and that's how I hunt for things in the sky. This is what I call a ghost satellite. It doesn't really reflect much light, and you can barely see it. You can raise the brightness about 500% and they show up. All these are still images taken from the Sony video camera looking through the telescope. This one seemed to be a bright green for some reason. I don't know if it was a hot object or what. Again, these are stationary, what appear to be satellites or objects, and this one's a little magnified of the previous. That's a new one. I guess I will go through these. That's another new image. And another new one. That one looks squared off. Some of these are pretty hard to determine what they are, but there's a magnified version of the previous one. And that one's even cleared up a little more. There's another one with something hot on it, or a reflection. That's something green. It's a magnified of the previous one. It's got a little dome on the top maybe or something. This one is what I call a streaker. It's a satellite that's moving through the field of view, and it leaves a little trail. Here's a pretty dim object, and sometimes you have to increase the brightness just to get there to see them a little better. Here's a magnified of that one. This one appears to have some little openings on it on one side. Another one too. And this one appears to have some protrusions on the top side of it. This one I believe is another streaker, so something moving by real fast. And finally the last object, I think I make it a little bigger. Sometimes you can get them to, and then this one was in the same frame.